What's going on, guys? Welcome to a brand new episode of Profiling Passionate People. I'm your host, Solomon Ladvinka. And today, as you can see, I got the black, I got a little bit of gold on here, but unfortunately, my Alvin Kamara jersey didn't come in on time, so a little boo-hoo for me. But we're going to be talking about them Saints, Who Dat Nation. And one of the biggest Saints fans that I know happens to be part of my bloodline. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce him here. He is a registered dental assistant, Mr. Frankie Vinculado. And sir, oh man, I love that. I love that background. But how we doing?
Doing good, man. Thank you for having me on.
Always, like I said, I needed somebody from that Who Dat Nation, and you're the first person that came to mind. So I see the black and gold. Who are you actually rocking though?
Well, if you must know,
I must know.
okay. we got the Saints. We got that right here.
Got the crest.
And then hold on.
Oh
Can't
man,
guard me. You can't guard me. Oh, there it is. It keeps fogging out.
I mean, he's so fast that it's disappearing.
Exactly. He moves too fast.
He moves too fast, and apparently his jerseys disappear on Zoom calls. So
exactly.
You can't guard him. And I mean, I've watched Michael Thomas out of Ohio State, and that boy can just flat out ball out. And, he's just a season or two removed from being a 99 overall rating in Madden, had that foot injury last year. But I think the new weapons for Taysom Hill or Jameis Winston, whoever's going to be under center this year, they're going to be playing a pivotal role in this new look offense now that Drew Brees has moved on. So we'll talk about all that in a second. But for the longest time, I knew that you were the biggest Raider fan, and now you're donning the black and gold. Tell me about your story, how you became a passionate Saints fan.
Well, first, I have to correct you. It's not Ohio State. It is the Ohio State.
Okay? The Ohio State.
I'm just messing around. Raider fan for the longest time. Being from the Bay Area, and most of the family was Niner fans, but when the Raiders moved back to Oakland, I was like, I want to be an Oakland Raider fan. And it was during the time of NWA, and it was cool to be a Raider fan. So that's what brought me to the Raiders. And then I just kept that for so long. And over the last few years, living here in Oakland, I've lived in Oakland for the last 10 years. And just seeing how the Raiders and the community were so intertwined, it was beautiful. And so being in the city that you're a fan of is actually really cool. I know you're a Tennessee Titans fan, but you go everywhere. You've been to Tennessee and you understand that community. And so when they announced that they were officially leaving, I was done with them. The city of Oakland could have done more or less. I wasn't at those tables, not that I would have made a difference, but just seeing them go and seeing the heart ripped out of the city just was my final straw. I wasn't going to follow them to Vegas. So that kind of left me as a free agent. And I kind of looked around the league, and I couldn't be a Niner fan. That just was not going to happen. As easy as it could have been, I wasn't going to be a Niner fan. So I had to look around, and then I picked New Orleans because of, our family's from New Orleans. Our bloodline is deep rooted in New Orleans, and one of my favorite meals is gumbo. Yeah. So I was like, I like the Saints, and also because of Michael Thomas. Michael Thomas, I was following him from the Ohio State.
Ohio State.
Watched him just beast through, and I favor receivers. I like to play receiver when I play football. So seeing another receiver come in, he was my favorite player in the league, even though he wasn't on the Raiders. And so it made that transition pretty easy. I get to support my favorite player as well as the team he's on. And for them being competitive, it was pretty easy to start rooting for them. Now it's going to, my loyalty is going to be challenged this year with, like you said, whoever's under the center.
Yeah, I mean, you hit it right there on on the nail. I mean, it would have been nice seeing you in that red and gold. You know, I know my dad would have loved that, but I knew that that wasn't going to happen. Our roots are from Narlands and that Who Dat Nation. And you look at what happened with Hurricane Katrina all those years ago, and how the community just all came together and they opened up the Mercedes-Benz Superdome, and you just had that leader in Drew Brees. And unfortunately, yes, not under the center anymore for the team, but you know, life does go on. But that, you know, yes, you have Raider Nation, you have Cowboy Nation, but you have that Who Dat Nation. And Who Dat, from what I've learned from other Saints fans, is that it's a brotherhood, it's a family. And just being from the South, and you know, having that good gumbo, and you know, obviously our family, just nothing but love. You know, going to a Saints family like that, I salute you. I think the Saints, you know, clearly are going in the correct direction. I know that during this offseason, can't be official now, but who knows? But I know that Aaron Rodgers was potentially a suitor for the starting position there. So you do look at Taysom Hill, who is a dual-threaded quarterback, who can get it done, who clearly showed that he could get it done while Breeze was injured last year. And you look at Jameis Winston. He's very familiar with the system, let alone, you know, in the NFC South. That's all he's played for, is the NFC South. Your expert Who Dat Saints prediction, who do you think is going to be under center for the team this year?
I do think it's going to be Jameis Winston. He has the arm.
Yeah.
In Tampa Bay, he was on everybody's fantasy team. Yeah, he was throwing interceptions, but you know, he had the yards. What was it? A few years ago, he threw for 35 touchdowns. Like, those are good numbers. He threw for 35 interceptions too. So you know, that kind of, you know, you take it and it plays against you. But you know, now that he has Sean Payton, who really is a disciplined coach, and you know, doesn't tolerate anybody. You know, he doesn't let Michael Thomas, he doesn't let anybody be a star or a diva. He really coaches the team as a whole, and he gave Jameis some of that treatment last year when he picked Taysom Hill over him. He wanted to see how he looked, and I think over these last few years, you know, going from the starting quarterback to backup quarterback to being traded, I think all of that is really is part of the formula that is going to make him a better quarterback. One hopes. I hope that he is, but you know, also he has weapons. He had weapons in Tampa Bay, and he's still, you know, he was Tampa Bay went to the playoffs one year with him. So I think he can win. I think he can lead a team, and with Sean Payton's coaching, I think he can be a winning, like the Saints could be a winning team. Do I think they're going to be 12-4 like last year? No, they might be a wild card team. Obviously, Tampa Bay is the number one team in that conference, but if you look around, like what they're doing on defense, and you know, they've lost a couple pieces. I think they're gonna actually be okay. Their defense didn't really change much, but at the same time, when you look at all the pieces that they have, they're still a playoff team, in my opinion.
Yeah, their defense is just as scary, in my opinion, as their offense. And it's funny, way back when Demario Davis was part of the New York Jets, I randomly got a notification on Instagram saying that you have a like notification from Demario Davis. And I'm just like, I don't even know who this cat is. And then sure enough, he's just blowing up, one of the most feared linebackers in the league. And then you have that front four with, what is it, Davenport. Man, I'm drawing a blank on his name. The defensive lineman. Wow, I'm drawing a blank.
Jordan?
Cam Jordan, yeah. I absolutely love Cam Jordan, just all those quarterback pressures. And as you mentioned, you know, you look at the NFC South, and they did win last season at the 12-4 record. They did win the South, but you do have Tom Brady in there. You look at the upcoming schedule. As big of a fan these last several seasons, because obviously I'm down here in SoCal and I've seen Sam Darnold in person, talked with him in person and everything. I still don't see him being successful with the Carolina Panthers. You look at Matty Ice with the Falcons, and Matty Ice has had weapons and still couldn't get it done ever since that 28-3, defeat, or comeback from Tom Brady and the Patriots. So I think those are easy 4 wins, in my opinion, with you guys in the NFC South. You guys played very well against Tampa Bay, obviously lost in the playoffs, and that's what led, Tampa to go do their thing and everything. So seeing your guys' schedule, seeing that you're going to be playing Tom Brady again twice this season, I mean, that's just a given. Overall record, as we do look, what do you think the team with a 17-game season this year? I know you would want them to go 17-0, but realistically, what do you think their overall record is going to be?
Like I said, I think 10-6. I think there's going to be some losses at the hands of Jameis. I think he will throw a crucial pick six from time to time. But I think the defense has enough to stay in games. So it's hard to go from Drew Brees. The fall off from quarterback play is going to be tremendous.
Yeah.
If Jameis starts throwing a bunch of interceptions like he has. I don't think the game plan is going to be so much that Jameis is going to be throwing deep to Michael Thomas every single play. I think there's going to be a lot of getting Kamara back in, and then, opening up downfield to Michael Thomas. But then the defense, Malcolm Jenkins, Marshawn Lattimore, they just got Prince. And then Demario Davis, Cam Jordan, like you said, and Malcolm Brown. Like, I'm looking at the roster right here, just looking at the different positions, like the starters and stuff. And then Trey Hendrickson.
Yeah.
The guy is a stud, and I think he can continue to, on the opposite side of Cam Jordan, create a lot of pressure. So, those games against Tampa Bay, we might be able to split. And if we can split, we could be 11-5 or 10-6. My expectation is 10-6, get a wild card spot, and might have to play on the road.
10-7 or 11-6.
You're right, 10-7.
Yeah, and
the new schedule. You're right.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm looking at the schedule as well, and it would have been nice to see Drew Brees taking on the new look Patriots. You guys open up against the Green Bay Packers with now Aaron Rodgers is confirmed. You'd be traveling to Seattle to see your boys play against the Seahawks. And there's just and even the Bills. And it's hard to put a finger on those and say, oh, the Saints are going to win that. Because when you had Drew Brees, it was always that marquee matchup. It was that, either the Sunday morning or the Sunday afternoon, absolute must-watch TV. Unfortunately, may not be that this season, but who knows? And what made Michael Thomas so great with Drew Brees was those quick zero routes, the quick two slants, the in routes, and those went for, Winston only needs to throw it like 2-3 yards and let just Michael Thomas do his thing. If I'm not mistaken, didn't he have like the single season record for most receptions? And probably 90% of those went for less than 10 yards. But the guy is a stud. You got Kamara, who opens up the play action game. He's just as good as hitting those holes and breaking off, hitting those home run tackles, hitting those home run touchdowns. And this offense, as well as the defense and even secondary, it looks scary. And for people to downplay it just because based off of their quarterback play, it's going to be good to see. So,
if Jameis, another thing you have to consider is the offensive line play. When Tom Brady got out there, they beefed up that offensive line, and that offensive line got way better, gave him enough time. It started slow, he was getting hit or whatever, but it quickly shaped up and they played a lot better with Tom Brady under center than they did with Jameis Winston. Well, that can also go to Jameis Winston. Maybe he's holding on to the ball too long, but what I saw last year in the few instances that Jameis was in was a little more poise and a little more, he wasn't too risky. He wasn't going to go downfield, try and win the game with his arm at the beginning. So, he is the wild card, and I think the season rests on his back. Just like with any quarterback. But, it's going to be interesting, to see someone with that many weapons around him and not succeed. It's going to be short-lived.
Yeah, and I mean, they lose Jared Cook. I've always been a big fan of Jared Cook ever since he was drafted with the Titans. But, he opened that offense up, tight end wise when Drew Brees was there. But again, you look at this upcoming season. Unfortunately, I have the Saints losing in the opener against the Packers just because, Rodgers has something to prove. So we look at week 1 against the Packers. You guys are at home. Give me an estimated score and obviously your realistic score, because I'm sure you would want them to win 56-0.
Well, so you got them at home. I'm looking at the schedule. I'm looking at the Packers. The Packers DBs are suspect.
Yeah.
Can they guard Michael Thomas? Now, if you're pulling the DBs back to double Michael Thomas, now you have Kamara to worry about.
Yeah.
So I think as long as Jameis can run the offense smooth, I think the game will be close. I say it's anywhere between a 3 and 6 point game. I'm looking up the line right now. Hold on.
Yeah.
I'm a gambling man. So, let's see what this line looks like. Hold on. They got the Packers plus 2.5.
Wow.
That thing's going to get to 3. I would take the Saints plus 3. That's how I would play.
Okay.
Do I think they'll win? I don't think they'll win, but it could be down to a field goal or a last-minute score that gets under the spread. So, yes.
Okay. I mean, you got I got it 40-24, but again, who knows?
40-24. Wow.
Yeah, but I think
with those DBs, huh?
With those DBs, I know that their lockdown corner for the Packers, he doesn't get as much love, but I don't see Winston getting that first win. Definitely week 2, and I got to do this.
Week 10. Week 10.
No, you biting that W.
Week 10.
Yeah.
Week 10 is another W for the Saints right there. That's another W right here, huh?
I got them goosebumps. Oh man. As long as, whether I'm in person with you or, I'll pay for your plane ticket down here. I can't watch a game with someone that's going against my Titans. But I think this is, the lead up to something good here. But, if we were to Zoom call, I know that Nick loves calling me, our cousin Nick loves calling me during these games. And I'm 30 seconds behind. So when he told me that the Dodgers were about to win, I'm getting the text message before it actually happens. Yeah. So all I know is that my phone's going to be staying on silent if I'm not with your pretty self in person on that game. But yeah, week 10, Who Dat Nation comes up to Titan Stadium, and that's going to be good. And speaking of stadiums, so really quick before we close, I know that you're just still recently a new fan of the Who Dat Nation. And I remember last year before the pandemic, you were wanting to see the Saints. I believe they came out to Allegiant Stadium against the Raiders. Mm-hmm. Any idea of when you want to go take a trip to Nolens and see your team in person or see an away game?
Well, they come to Seattle.
Yeah.
There's that one at the end of October, and it's a Monday night game. I might consider getting up there for that.
Okay.
Of course, pending everything. And then they play the Cowboys this year.
Oh, go out
First
to
week,
Dallas.
first weekend in December. So that might be, oh no, it's a Thursday night in the first Thursday of December. So maybe that. I really wish they were playing the Giants or the Jets in New York during Christmas weekend because I'm traveling there that weekend. So anyway,
Nice.
it's one of those things where I want to go, I want to travel, but got to take it day by day at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I've been to several Titans games. Just recently went out to
Yeah.
Nashville, saw the stadium, but still have not seen a Titans game in person out in Nissan Stadium. They do come out here to play the Rams, a battle of the former Super Bowl where we lost by potentially a yard, but that should be a good game. But yeah, I would love to see you up in Seattle. Beautiful city, beautiful atmosphere up there, and who knows how it's gonna go. But I really appreciate you coming on here, and I know that we got other episodes that we're gonna be recording here in the near future. This dude, again, registered dental assistant. I'm gonna tap into that in these next coming episodes. Also, he is the owner and creator of the Tooth Fairy systems as well. Go ahead and throw it on. He is
Hold on.
so you're the main creator, correct, of Top Tier Golf Club?
My boy Manny is the one who had the idea, and he and I worked out. He created it down south, and I just piggybacked with him up north, and so he and I run Top Tier Golf Club.
Dang. I know I can talk so much more about golf, but again, other episodes in the near future. Again, he is Frank Vinculado. I am Samalad Vinca. This is Profiling Passionate People. Saints week 1 against those Eagles. Eagles, wow.
Packers.
Against them Packers.
Saints +3. Take the points.
He's probably right. Until then, guys, stay passionate. Catch you guys on the next episode. Thank you very much.
Talk to you.